A director's commentary on Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese doesn't have many influences, as he comes across to influence himself. However, Martin does have one. He is Satyajit Ray. He is a legendary Indian director. Martin saw one of his films, called The Expedition, which was made in 1962. Martin took notes. When he created Taxi Driver, he would refer back to his notes that he took from the film. Now, the films aren't exactly identical, but two scenes have similar styles. Both are taxi drivers who have reduced to a lower social status, so both interact with passengers. Both passengers almost interact with the drivers. An auteur is someone who has specific trademarks to their work. This could be editing techniques, distinct styles, or specific cast and crew members. Martin Scorsese is an auteur. He uses specific crew members like Terence Winter, his screenwriter, or Robert Richardson, who does cinematography. One person who Martin always works with is Leonardo DiCaprio. He is a specific cast member that is always used. Martin and Leonardo have a special relationship between director and actor. Martin spoke to the Wall Street Journal on October 2013. He said, "Our relationship has evolved in the sense that with every new picture we get to know each other a little better, trust each other a little more, and go a little further." The three films that I picked of Martin Scorsese is The Aviator, which was made in 2004, Shutter Island, which was made in 2010, and The Wolf of Wall Street, made in 2013. The Aviator, Mise-en-scene. In this set is set in 1920s to mid-1940s. I picked a scene, Show Me All the Blueprints. Leonardo, who plays Howard Hughes. His character is dressed very smart, his hair is slicked back, and he is wearing a shirt and jacket and looks very tidy. He is placed in a huge warehouse where he and his crew are building an aeroplane in the background. You can see parts of the plane with the workers and sparks happening. In this next scene that I picked, it will be showing Howard in a suit, all tidy and his hair slicked back. They are outside with crowds of people with a red carpet for a special event. Planes are flying over the crowds and there are photographers' cameras and smashed light bulbs. Editing and cinematography. Martin Scorsese uses close-up in this scene because it shows of Howard Hughes' facial expressions. You can see him uncertain and nervous. He acts paranoid as he repeats all of his words. Show me all the blueprints.
Show me all the blueprints. Show me all the blueprints. Show me all the blueprints.
This suggests that something isn't right with Howard and that he looks tired, overworked, and the pressure is getting to him. Also in this scene, he uses over-shoulder shot. This lets you see both characters talking to each other. High-angle shots at the start of the clip to show the view from above and the crowds of people, light and buildings. He uses a tracking shot if the camera is inside the car and you are having the driver's point of view. You have a mid-shot of Howard in the car arriving to the event. The car then moves to another high-angle shot of the car pulling up, then cuts to planes flying over the event. You then move to a different kind of shot. It is a long shot of Howard getting out of the car. Martin also uses a close-up of Howard stepping onto the light bulb and crushes the bulb. However, he also uses close-up in the photography flash scenes. Like each flash goes to a close-up of someone's mouth or eye and then flashes back to Howard. The bright lights are hurting Howard's eyes and you can see this within his facial expressions. Also, Martin used a freeze frame with that scene. When the camera flashes, you see the bulb break and the camera freezes on the screen for a few seconds. Sound. In the background of the scene, you have the sound of the tools being used in the workshop. It sounds like a blade, and with the sparks flying, you can tell the tool is metal on metal. It's being
Show me
used.
all the blueprints.
When Howard repeats his word, he is loud at the start, and then starts to mutter his words as the tools and the workers start to get louder and overtake. In this other scene, you have the commentators speaking about the event. They have loud, clear voices and beeping noises start to come in, and you have the crowd screaming that overpowers the other noises. And the planes fly over. You also have the sound of the camera flashes, and the loud clicks and the light bulb smashing. Shutter Island Mise-en-scene. The scene starts outside of the mental ward. It's daylight and you have security guards and a gate. The two main characters are dressed in 50s style detectives wearing suits, colourful ties and hats and long coats. The scene then moves on to the gardens. You have a bright colourful garden with a patient smiling with a garden rake, and you can see patients having blue trousers and plimsolls. He is chained by the ankle. Leonardo, who plays Teddy, takes out a notebook from his pocket. It then moves back to the garden with another patient, with garden tools and handcuffed. The last patient that we see is a woman who is in a blue outfit. She is scary looking. She doesn't have much hair. You can tell that she's old and fragile. Her face and neck are so skinny you can see the bones, and again she is handcuffed. Her eyes are very dark, and as she smiles you can see that she has black teeth. Editing and cinematography. The scene is set in daylight. The first shot is a wide-angle shot, which then moves into a tracking as the characters are walking towards the camera. Camera tilts, going from the patient down to his feet. There's also close-ups to show facial expressions on Teddy's face, like he's taken everything in that he sees. When the camera is looking at the last patient, it is set in a mid-shot. You can see how skinny she is, and can also tell the way she stood. She is weak and creepy looking. Sound. In the background you have wind blowing and the birds chirping, and then you have the security guard talking to the detectives as soon as Leonardo reaches the last patient. All the voices get blocked off. You just have the wind blowing and the birds in the background. This is trying to show the audience what Teddy is doing. He seems to be blocking out every other noise, and it's like him and the patient are the only two in a row. The Wolf of Wall Street mise-en-scene. The scene is set in an office. Leonardo plays a very wealthy businessman, and he is in an expensive suit with his hair slicked back, looking neat and tidy. He is wearing an expensive watch. He is also holding a microphone to speak to all the other business people. Editing and cinematography. The scene is set in daylight and you have wide shot, and also an over-the-shoulder shot. This makes you feel like you are part of the crowd with everyone else. Other camera movements are close up to his face. You can see the energy and power in his facial expression that he's given across to everybody else. He is shouting in the scene, which makes the audience know that he is in power. When he throws the watch across the room, the watch is flying in slow motion. Sound. The only sounds that are going on in the scene is Leonardo's voice and the crowd screaming. Leonardo's voice is loud and powerful. You can tell that he's in charge. When he throws the watch across the room, you just have silence and you can hear the tick-tocking noise of the watch.